there is something that every country has diplomats that they send to represent them in other countries. And so the question arose whether a diplomat can actually get away with everything, or a diplomat can escape murder. Can a diplomat commit a crime and get away with it? A PhD student who is actually studying diplomatic immunity, when you want to establish the fact whether a diplomat can get away with anything, you must look at the capacity in which that diplomat is acting. Is he acting in his capacity as a diplomat? Because the immunity that he enjoys is not his own. The immunity belongs to the state, and that is why when he does a wrong thing and that immunity is taken away from him, he becomes a normal person. He can be declared persona non grata. Okay, so when you want to answer the question whether a diplomat can get away with anything, you must look at the act, where, in what capacity he acted. Is it in his personal capacity or in an official capacity as a diplomat? And also look at the nature of the act, whether it is a civil or criminal. So where it is civil and it concerns commercial transaction, know that immunity will not stand. Okay, he's going to take full responsibility. Maybe in a situation where a diplomat in Nigeria now hires services from people who are in Nigeria and all that, he will do what is needful. He will pay for those services. His immunity will not be applied in such a situation. But where is a criminal act? The Rome Statute of International Criminal Law has laid down and defined elaborately a lot of crimes that qualify as universal crimes, and then these crimes, when committed, you must look at who did it, in what capacity, whether as an entity. Is that entity a part of the government? Is it a government official? Is it a head of a government that committed it? Because there are rules that the courts will always apply to see whether a person will escape, because there are rules to look at the where they will have, if it's a head of state that committed that crime, they will have to do a principle of severance. They will separate you from that position so that you can be held accountable for the crime that you have committed. There are also situations where countries can ask another country to intervene, and when you intervene, any decision that is taken, you'll be bound by that decision. So in diplomacy, actually, when we talk about this immunity that diplomats enjoy, there are principles that guide them. Territorial principle, when we are talking about criminal responsibility under international law. So when those principles or theories are brought into play, you'll be able to determine the extent, the scope, who is the victim, who is affected by such a crime. And then in a situation as well where the person or the head of state is the one who committed that crime, it also depends whether that head of state is recognized as head of state, like is in this Maduro's case. US does not recognize Maduro as the leader of Venezuela, and so they feel that immunity, that sovereignty should not be accorded to him. So in reality, even though this immunity is given, there is still violation of human rights. And that is why some authors have said that diplomatic immunity should pave way for fundamental rights to come into play, because they have said that it is always in the area of employment and that abuse and torture coincide. Okay, so diplomats don't just go away with anything. They cannot go away with murder. Why? Because the immunity does not belong to the diplomat. The immunity is not for his personal benefit. It is to enable him execute his responsibility without any coercion, without any intimidation, without any harassment in his designated country, which is always called the host country. This is Xavier Law Essence. I will keep bringing you premium tips to help you make informed decisions, to help you live informed life and discover the best version of yourself. We'll see you again.